Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we've got another great review for you. And I'm telling you, it's a good review. I'm talking about the TOPO MTN Racer 2. This is a trail running shoe over the last few months that's been gaining in popularity for all of the right reasons. So in today's episode, I'm going to go over the reasons why I like the TOPO MTN Racer 2, why it's going to be in my running rotation for quite some time. But if you watch to the end, I will go over a few of the dislikes that I think are keeping this shoe from being perfection. At just $145, it's only $5 more than the previous version, and that $5 went a long way. The TOPO MTN Racer 2 is a better, upgrade version of its predecessor. While the first version had an upper material made of ripstop mesh, they've changed it up, and now the Racer 2's upper material is made of simple mesh, which increases breathability and maintains durability. A three-piece EVA zip foam midsole has become even more comfortable, softer under heel, a firmer arch, and with a unique external TPU heel counter. All of these combine to offer softer landing and increased power transfer. The Racer 2 also promises a roomy toe box to secure your foot, and wide-spaced lugs allow for automatic snow and mud release. The outsole hasn't changed much and still uses industry standard Vibram Mega Grip, which provides optimal grip on wet and dry terrains. The 5mm drop remains the same and continues to encourage natural gait without overtaxing the calves. All right, so let's talk about all of the good things about this shoe, and there's a lot of them. Starting with one of the things that I think is a make or break for all shoes, and that's the outsole. TOPO has used the industry standard for traction, and that's the Vibram Mega Grip outsole. And why we know this all to be a nice tacky rubber with lots of grip that we can count on when we need it, to me, the good part is the lug pattern and how that was designed. Running in some sloppier conditions, it did a great job to clear mud, leaves, and debris. That way the shoe was not getting heavier, and I had that confidence that I would have the traction that I need regardless of what the trail threw at me. From there, the fit. I'm a huge fan of the TOPO fit. From the wider toe box, it's not ultra wide, which often in my opinion feels a little bit sloppy, but it is wide overall, and I have a slightly wide foot, and right now I'm battling a bunion problem and have no issues with that. Then we have nice breathable mesh. When I was wearing Injinji trail socks, which tend to be on the thicker and heavier side, I didn't feel like my feet were sweating. And I've had that issue with some shoes that have more overlays on them and are really built up. So they did a great job of keeping it more minimal. They added a beautiful heel collar. I just love this. As someone that has suffered in the past for rubbing on the Achilles, I experienced none of that in any of the miles that I put in. From there, the laces lock down beautifully. When you cinch them down, they don't move. That I'm not sure exactly why. It could be that part of this gusseted tongue has these loops built into it for the laces to go through and to really hold those into place, giving that all-around great feel. And when you add that with a nice soft EVA foam, you get a nimble feeling, still some good flexibility overall, and I just loved it. But then there's also the attention to smaller details. And I didn't realize some of these when I was buying the shoe or in the research that I did. The first, as I've already mentioned, are the extra loops on the tongue. But even they have a built-in gator trap that's designed a lot like Ultra in the front. It has a little metal ring built into the shoe. The back has a different system. I'll have to get some of their gaiters to try that out. But to me, that was a very thoughtful inclusion that I think most trail running shoes are missing out. Those are all reasons that I'm a big fan of these shoes. So far, they've just been working for me. But I'd love to know what you really like about the Topos. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you haven't tried them and don't know, tell me the feature that you're most excited about. So now let's talk about the bad, because like all things in life, nothing is perfect. And while I would like to say the Topos are as close as possible, there are some things that may be a deal breaker for you. The first being the tongue is thin. It is. It's just a very thin material. If the laces are tightened down too tight, you're definitely going to feel them on the top of your foot. The second big issue, there's no loop on the heel to help pull them on and off. I don't know why there's not. They need to include it. Simple inclusion that would just make things that much better overall. Maybe I've just been spoiled with some of the other shoes. The third thing would be that while the upper is a very breathable mesh, I don't see any drainage holes. And while I got them semi-wet a few times, it didn't feel like they were draining very well. I probably need to test this a little bit more, but shoes draining and drying is something that I personally am just more cognizant about this year after running Burning River and it just being so wet and so muddy, and how quickly my feet got ate up because there was no drainage in the shoe. The water was just holding there a lot longer than it should. And the last thing, and this might be the most nitpicky thing in this whole review, but the design. There's only a couple colorways. The design is very lackluster overall. I like a little bit bolder collars. I like big designs, like to keep it a little weird. However, there is something to be said for this. I probably could come from the trail, throw some clothes on and wear it in, and just look like a casual shoe. Overall, my thoughts are that this is probably one of the better trail shoes that I've ran in this year. They're absolutely going to be in my running lineup for some time. I'm going to get good miles out of them, maybe even run them into the ground. And while they may not be the #1 pick to start my next ultra in, they're definitely going to be in the bag race day. With all of that being said, I would love to know your thoughts if you're going to put these into your running lineup. Also, if you found the review valuable, hit that like button. If you think I'm just completely nuts, hit the dislike button, give me some feedback, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see my thoughts on one of the most expensive, most luxurious trail running shoes out there, make sure you watch this video right here.